gentlemen, good morning. Happy hump day to you. This is Rob, the Mad Hatter from the SBTV Nation, talking to my boy, The Dream. Son, how you doing out there?
I'm good. Everything's going good today. Got up this morning, couldn't find my phone. Coffee cup is in the sink dirty, and the nasty Sixers caught their win, son.
Did you get my bottle of vodka yet, son?
I did not. Yeah, I got one for you. Yep, I got your vodka, player.
I'm not looking for any like Smirnoff or anything.
Yeah,
like
no.
that,
We got you, player. We got your bottle, son. I got it.
I want a bottle of Goose, player.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I got your bottle.
All right, guys.
This bottle.
In case you don't know what we're talking about, we had a little wager yesterday. My man, The Dream, felt like the Black Mamba was going to come out and win in Philadelphia, and I said the Sixers would catch their first win and not fall to 0-19, and sure enough, they got the job done, Dream.
No doubt.
And they were cheering for your boy at the end.
Well, they should be.
They were cheering for the Black Mamba at the end, man. He kind of walked off. It was like a little nice atmosphere out there. But, I was sitting there and I was watching that game a little bit, but I couldn't help to flip back and forth and watch my boy get smoked by the Washington Wizards, man.
I know. I saw that last night. That was absolutely funny.
It was funny. I mean, we've talked about it time and time again. Number one, I know that some people were out there and took Washington in the first half because we talked about it. We alluded to the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first half just don't show up like ever.
Right.
And I don't know what the hell's going on with them. They were down big at the first half. And then, back-to-back, man, first half, second half, the Washington Wizards just had the better of them. And it just seemed like Cleve didn't want to be there last night, brother.
You get those games. We get those lapses in basketball. We've talked about it from time to time. That's just what they do, man. And I was watching that as well. Flicking back and forth. We did last night. I was kind of off the grid as we did the tree lighting in our house, and
nice.
That's always just because like the tree, like Christmas and the trees for the kids.
Yep.
But it's really for the adults though. Okay. So it's like because like we got a Christmas tree, but my wife got like a Ferrari Christmas tree upstairs.
No doubt.
What I call it.
Yep. Yeah, they got to go ham on them. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She's got like all these customized ornaments. Like the ornament's supposed to be for the kids. Like there's like, I don't know, there's like a bunch of customized ornaments. So every time the kids go to reach for an ornament, it's no, don't touch that. So I'm like, I just sit with my cup of coffee. I'm like the mediator. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I totally get it, man.
The whole time I'm like, look, just do what your mother says.
Well, I got my Christmas tree to put up. I'm going to do it on Sunday. What we're going to do is we're actually going to chill. We're going to do the show, obviously, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go get a little workout in and come home, set up the tree while we're watching football, man. So that should be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Kind of grill all day, just relax at the crib and do that whole package as far as the Christmas decorations and everything, man. Guys, We're on Twitter right now at SBTV Nation and having a ball. And Dream, it's been a good week so far, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a very good week, and looking forward to the weekend. And we got lots to talk about today, brother. Okay. Tons to talk about. Number one, I know we're right smack in the middle of college hoop and college football and pro football and the NHL and NBA. However, there is one thing I got to talk about the MLB, and that's your boy David Price gets $31 million a year, 7-year contract with the Boston Red Sox, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, dude, I don't know. The number is staggering based on
$31 million.
The number is staggering, dude.
Unbelievable, man. The guy hasn't even, he did not even perform in the playoffs, man.
I know.
How many teams has this dude been on in the last 5 years? Minimum 5 teams.
Dude.
He's on more teams than Harang, I think.
Just giving the money away, son.
Well, he's going to stay put with the Boston Red Sox now. So, hey, who knows, man?
I don't like that move, personally.
You don't like that move?
No, I'm not. And I'm not a big baseball guy. Obviously, you know that. But I don't like that move. I don't think that guy is worth that kind of money. Because I think he was pretty lights out regular season. His playoff though run, raises an eyebrow for me.
Yado, thank you very much for that. That is my speed all day long, brother. Thank you.
He started off the season, shaky.
A little suspect.
Yeah.
Little suspect.
I don't know. I would never. I mean, I think that's way too much money.
$31 million a year, man.
I think that's way too much.
And then his
money.
agent is getting about 30% of that, so his agent's collecting $9 million a year just from that contract.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the business to be in, brother.
No doubt.
Definitely. So you're looking at Georgia. They're hiring the defensive coordinator of Alabama, Kirby Smart.
Son, by the way, big ups to Georgia. And look, listen.
Finally.
Guys, it's not about these guys are not like when a guy who makes $30,000 a year loses his job, you feel bad, okay? But you're talking about head coaches and coaches in college and in the NFL and even some these guys make millions and millions and millions. Listen, I kind of feel bad because you lost your job. Just the theory of losing your job stinks, but from a financial standpoint, these guys are not like going to be at the soup kitchen tomorrow. These guys are multi-millionaires. Mark Richt should be loaded with money, okay? Loaded. So it's not like him getting fired is like devastating. So my thing to him is it's time. It's been time to get rid of dude. I think they're like 2 years late on him.
I agree 100%.
So it's definitely been time. And big ups to them for making a move. And I guess he was a little bit shaky when he left and talking about how the atmosphere ain't been. I'm like, dude, atmosphere ain't been cool because you're losing.
No, you know what? Because he loses in big games.
No.
How many over the last I want to say 6 years of college football, man.
Bro.
You know, he's been in these situations with bad clock management and just losing big games and big spots and stuff like that.
And even his regular season stuff has been a little bit. It's just time to shake it up. Sometimes you have to shake things up. The funniest thing I saw is Deion Sanders had made a comment apparently about how the NFL, how the Niners played cap, and I'm like, dude, really?
They played him. Trying to keep him down, man.
I'm like, really? I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, Cap played them.
Cap played them big time, man. He got his contract now, and he is laughing all day long, even, being out for the season. So it's pretty crazy what's going on in the world of sports right now as far as the football is concerned. Speaking of the NFL, man, Josh McCown is out for the year with a broken collarbone, and are looking again at Party Boy Johnny Football. Party Boy, man. This just seems like he keeps getting more and more shots.
I love Yano said Rick is the best 8-4 coach ever.
What's that?
Ask Jay Pimpin.
Yes.
Oh my God, Jay Pimpin he took down all his Georgia stuff off of his.
I don't blame him.
Wall.
Once they had to beat down Alabama, it was apparent there. You know what I mean? Because they lost 38-10 in that game, and I was out of Alabama that game. I'll never forget that one.
I will give him one slight pass that they did lose Chubb this season, and he was an incredible talent, and probably a few games would have been one that were lost, but. Hey, it was time to get rid of Rick right way before this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think about 2 years late on that one.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
I mean, but who are you going to get now? That's the key.
Who cares? Somebody new.
Somebody better.
Getting somebody a shot may not be better, could be worse. But the idea is something different to change it up. You got to go out there. It's just like looking for players. You got to go out there and find the talented coach, the coach that works, the coach that gets to the kids, the guy that can recruit, the guy that's just you need to find that total package. I mean, these guys, the old coaches that have been there for a long time, they get all salty when it's time to move, but they got their start somewhere. So, get out the way and let somebody else have a shot.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at a couple of photos on Twitter here. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Dream, but we have a very special guest that's going to be joining us very soon. Her name is Mariani. Have you seen her yet?
No.
Take a look at my timeline, and we will have the conversation, man. She's going to come in and kind of talk to a little bit about us, about getting our asses in shape. Remember I alluded to that yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, she's going to be coming on, man, and she is outstanding. Put it that way. So, guys, we're on Twitter right now at SBTV Nation, and let's talk about the committee selections for the playoffs, man.
No doubt.
As far as the college football is concerned. So, basically, their top six is exactly how I put it. You got Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, number 4, Iowa, number 5, Michigan State, and number 6, Ohio State. Now, Here's a little bit of a difference in opinion as far as I'm concerned with these other teams. You got 3 two-loss teams ahead of North Carolina. You got Stanford, number 7, Notre Dame, number 8, and Florida State, number 9, with North Carolina capping off the top 10 at number 10. What do you think, man? You think those 3 teams are better than North Carolina?
I got to say yes. I do.
Stanford, Notre Dame, and Florida State are all better than North Carolina.
Stanford, Notre Dame. I am going to give them a nod over Notre Dame.
Okay.
I got a thing for Stanford. I like Stanford. But my thing is let's let it play out and see what happens. This weekend is going to be the tail of the tape. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Going to see if North Carolina can shock the world, baby.
And what about Michigan? Okay, hold on. You said Stanford, North Carolina, and who was the third team?
You got Stanford, Notre Dame, and Florida State all ahead of North Carolina right now.
Yeah,
right?
No, I don't like Florida State. I like Stanford ahead. I would move them after Stanford. But you got Michigan State and Ohio State ahead of those two, too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so my thing is, I would go, honestly, I would probably go, I hate saying this because you guys aren't going to like this, but I like Michigan. I like Stanford, Michigan State, and then North Carolina. And then I would have Ohio State under North Carolina. Because Ohio State just really, I don't care that they just beat Michigan. When I look at what they did this season and the struggles that they had with all those subpar teams, that just bothers me.
Of course.
I mean, that's just kind of dusty, Northern Illinois 20-13.
I know.
You know what I'm saying, dude? These are teams just supposed to blow.
It's the fact that, yeah, you know what? I think they got that loss out of their system, and I'll be 100% honest with you, man. That is one team that you do not want to play in the playoffs. I think Urban Meyer would put it in a whole nother gear. You saw it last week versus Michigan. They pounded Michigan, bro. Pounded them.
They did pound Michigan, but Michigan might have been a little bit overrated. I didn't really like Michigan at the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden they get a couple of, they do a couple of shutouts, and all of a sudden my eyebrow gets raised as they're doing their thing at home. But we did notice against Indiana, they had struggles against Indiana.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Ohio State struggled against Indiana as well.
Oh, big time. Big time.
So
Indiana was ahead the whole game.
Right. So my thing is Ohio State just, to me, I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to put them to the side. I'm not going to say that they're bad. They just didn't do it for me this year. I didn't like the way they played it. Maybe they're coming on now. Maybe you're right. They don't want to be the team that nobody wants to play. But I just think they were overrated. And I kind of still think they are.
If you look at it, if everything goes as planned as far as the favorites winning, Clemson's favored over North Carolina, which we're going to actually talk about. We're going to break down the opening lines of these games. I don't want to say opening. I mean, they did come out on Sunday, but, as far as the show is concerned, we haven't talked about the lines yet. And Alabama is favored over Florida. So as long as the top 2 teams win their respective games, then obviously the winner of the Big Ten championship is going to get in, and Oklahoma should not have a problem staying put, especially with the performance over the Oklahoma State Cowboys in Bedlam. They pounded them as well, man. 58 points, and they had 44 points in the first half.
Right.
Dream. So, and you know what I love about Oklahoma is that they capitalize off turnovers.
Yes.
I mean, you turn the ball over against them, you're dead. You're dead. Baker Mayfield's going to dance around in the background and just kind of, find an open receiver or run for it or do whatever the hell he wants to do back there. So, you know what? Definitely going to be an interesting matchup as far as them. If it stood the way it is right now, they would play Alabama in the first round of the playoff on New Year's Eve, man. So that's pretty exciting, Dream.
Yes, it is.
So anyway, let's look at the opening lines as far as that is concerned. We'll do a couple. We'll take a break, and then we'll move back to a couple of more, man. But looking at this, so you got the Pac-12 championship, which does not really. I don't want to say has no playoff implications because it still kind of does if one of the top 2 teams lose. Like if Clemson loses to North Carolina, then the Stanford Cardinal look pretty damn good. But they're playing at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Stanford minus 4.5 with an under-over of 60 points. Big-time rivalry here, man.
No doubt.
So I'm looking at this here. I just want to take a look
Stanford already beat them.
Stanford already beat them in USC by 10 points.
And Stanford should beat them again.
You don't know if Sarkisian was all bombed for that, though. You might have been drinking some of the stuff that you're sending me on Twitter right now. I just
I know. You like your bottles, son? I got your bottles. Can't wait to drop them off.
I saw what you got for me. You know what? You're one of the dustiest cats as far as a bet is concerned. Don't even try to get out of the Mets tickets, bro.
Son, I'm getting you. Wait. Hold on. Time out. The nip bottles are a joke, but we said a small bottle, not the big. Don't.
No, we said a bottle at the club.
We said one of them. No, we did not.
We said one of them Magnum bottles.
Yeah, no, for the Sixers. Stop.
We said one of them Magnum bottles in
New
York City.
See, I'm dusty. Don't try to get out of it. You're dusty. Don't try to blow it up.
In New York City, with like 10 cocktail waitresses all coming with like the sparklers and the whole package.
New York City sparklers.
Yeah, man.
I know that's the biggest ripoff in the world is bottle service. And we all went for that. Like we went for that, and we let the clubs do bottle service, which is the stupidest thing ever.
I tend to disagree with you.
Son, it's so they give you a $70 bottle of booze and charge you $200 to $300 to $500 for it. It's stupid.
It's more like a $40 bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
They charge you $200 for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not. Obviously, you get the markup of the bottle. Okay, I'm not
ridiculous.
Listen, it's a what is that? A 500% markup. I get it.
Ridiculous.
But then but you get your own little spot in the club, and you get some, hopefully you get some pretty attractive waitresses waiting on you, and you get all the stuff with it, all the Red Bulls and the
we've gotten bottle service. Well, who cares? Like, who are we there with? Our girls. So pretty effective waitresses wasn't like a big deal for us. Like, it was like, so what?
Well, I'll give you a good example of when we did that was when we went out to New Jersey. We went out to Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
That was
God, I remember. But that was your bachelor party thing, and that place was like off the charts, just too packed. But like I'm talking about like cats that do it like at your local spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
especially when there's like nobody in the club.
Yeah, like you're at the Red Dog, the Red Dog Saloon. Cats in there with dentures in their mouth, and you getting the bottle service in the VIP.
I love the girls with the cellulite on their stomach with the belly shirts.
That's the
worst. Oh man, I'm like, put a shirt on
with little Cupid heel, little half boot, dusty beard, faded leggings.
Little bits and pieces of weaves on the floor.
All I'm saying, you sitting up in the VIP popping Ciroc like you Puff Daddy. About to be a shootout in like 15 minutes in the club and close the spot down and have the cops roll up in that piece. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, definitely. But that's what I'm talking about, though. I want a Magnum bottle with the sparklers and all the waitresses and all that. So, just remember that, man. That's what we agreed on yesterday. That's what we talked about.
Here. And I love a guest sitting in bottle service. They get out the club and go get in a Yugo. Go get in a Yugo and go home.
I love that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You know. Using food stamps to buy drinks at the bar.
Come on, son, stop it. They ain't taking the EBT card to pay for the bottle service. No, can I pay for
like
this?
You want to start a tab? Yeah. The EBT card comes out. I love that. Oh, wrong one. My bad.
Gosh. Sitting up there in some Brett Favre Wrangler. Oh, some Drew Brees Wrangler jeans.
Yes, Drew Brees. Like Favre, man. Favre wears that stuff.
Oh, man. All right, so
let's take it back. Having a good time, man. Having a good time this morning. So
just bagged up the club killers. Don't be a club killer.
You know what? Let's take a quick break, and we'll get right back to everybody, and we will discuss the opening lines of the college football because there is a lots to talk about, guys. So we'll be right back.
How would you like to win big cash in sports gaming? Well, now you can. Visit tkwins.com. With over 20 years of experience, they can get you the winning edge you need. Specializing in winning selections on all major sporting events. NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NCAA basketball. Why wait? Check out their free daily winners online. It's never been easier to visit tkwins.com today and start winning. tkwins.com. Consistently picking the winners for you.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
All right, man, we're back. Jim, I'm still laughing about that.
Oh, it's hilarious, son. Because we've seen it 100 times.
We've seen it 100 times, man. You guys know exactly what we're talking about. So getting over to the opening lines of the college football. Dream, you know what? I just got to say something.
Go.
What other show are you going to listen to talking about sports, about wagering, about fantasy, about beautiful women, about the whole package, and get to clown like this?
This is Keep It Real Radio.
Keep It Real Radio. We got to get T-shirts made that say that.
Keep It Real Radio. Keep It Real Media. Or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it is what it is.
I know. It's great, man. It's great.
We have a lot of fun, and we hope you guys enjoy it with us. And this was the whole idea when we decided to put this thing together. And, for those who are listening, we haven't talked about, sometimes we get a couple of new people slide on here and probably don't know how it all originated. So really quick, guys, for those of you that just got on or just joined on board or are just getting acquainted with the party, we are SBTV, two guys that were gamblers. We used to sit around a lot and talk about the outcomes of games and why did this happen, why did that happen, and why mainstream media doesn't really talk about gambling. And we decided to finally do something about it because we think that the sports bettor is like the only person that's kind of like, for use of a lack of a better word, kind of crapped on by, mainstream media and by the casinos. You guys who bet sports, you go up and you want to stay, like in the MGM or whatever, and you go down to the sports book and drop, a decent amount of money. Like, you get like nothing for that. In comparisons, like if you were to spend the same kind of money playing a table game, and I just don't get it. I think that that's completely wrong. I don't know. I don't really understand why Vegas turns their back on the sports bettor, other than the fact that I know that the time, okay, like a guy obviously on the roulette table or a blackjack table, you're going to drop your money 1,000 times faster than you're going to drop it, betting a football game. But at the end of the day, money's money.
I agree.
And I just don't really understand why there's a lack of love for the sports bettor.
Got my man Angelo Nunez on here getting warmed up for Freaky Friday already.
All right.
Yes, definitely, guys. All right, so let's talk about it, man. So we got a couple of games on the ticket. Pac-12 championship. You like Stanford in that particular matchup.
I do.
We're going to talk about more of these on Saturday when the Evil Genius comes on. But for the most part,
the Evil Genius will talk about him, and we'll just be there. Listening to his headset go in and out. Now, that was hilarious this weekend.
That was funny, man, on Saturday. I think it was Sunday, actually. His headset was going out. I think as soon as he started plugging the Rams, or the Raiders, I think is when it started going out.
Hey, guys, remember when I was talking about how I didn't like teams on the road in hockey? I mean, just look real quick at the Stars who lost to the Flames yesterday.
Oh, they were up 3-0.
I know, dude. I'm telling you, that's why I so struggle.
3-0, man.
Yeah, I struggle with the road teams in hockey, man. It's a struggle.
I couldn't believe that. I saw 3-0 and I saw 4-3 final score. I was like, oh, wow. Dallas Stars go down in flames. So here's a game that I think you and I are on the same page on, and I'm off this team. and I think this team is going to get absolutely pounded. And we're going to talk about the SEC Championship at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. You got the Florida Gators and Alabama Crimson Tide playing each other, and Alabama is minus 17.5 points, Dream.
So it's athletic, though, son.
Don't be surprised if Florida's defense keeps them in the game.
Okay.
For a minute.
I love you adding for a minute.
For a minute. You're going to keep them in the game. You're going to see like 6-3, something like that in first quarter. Then all of a sudden, Alabama's front four is going to be all – well, let me rephrase that. Their front four, as far as the defense is concerned, going to be all up in Florida's face.
No doubt.
Then you're going to see the offensive line versus the defense. I don't want to say struggle, but it might be just, low-scoring first quarter or whatever. Then
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Then you're going to see the offensive line start wearing them down. And you're going to see the running game with Derrick Henry start wearing them down. By the end of the third quarter, early stages of the fourth quarter, I expect Alabama to be up at minimum 14 to 17 points at that point.
I would look for a prop or a team total for Florida under.
Well, I could do the math right now. You're probably looking somewhere along the lines of, if I had to guess, let me see, 27 at 10, that puts 37. I think it's about 12 points right now for Florida.
Yeah, and I would take under all day on that.
Under 12 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you get like that
I know the kickoff return or the punt return. I know. You get that booty touchdown. No, I know. But I would take a shot at the 12 points. I would.
The team total under for Florida. I mean, they did score 2 points versus Florida State.
That's what I'm saying.
And Alabama's defense is a whole different league than Florida State is. I mean, when you look at this defensively, you look at the teams, Alabama is number 2 in all of college football, allowing 14.3 points and 265 yards total. Florida's not so bad, though, man. They give up 15.5 points per game and 284 yards on, as far as I don't
listen. I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm a Gator fan. Okay, I go way back with the Gators. Back to when Steve Spurrier was there. And a comment on Steve Spurrier, by the way, I do not want to see Steve Spurrier emerge as any coach at any college team next season. So I just keep an eye on that because the way he left South Carolina, okay, health, whatever, tired, can't give no more. Cool. Don't be coming back next year talking about, I got newfound energy and this, that, and the other, and I'm ready to coach again.
Reinvigorated, man.
Yeah, no, don't. Stay in your lane. Stay where you're at now. Don't go in there, mess it, because that's the one thing about college that I don't like that these coaches do. But anyway, back to Florida. I just don't. I think this Florida team, and I know that Urban Meyer won championships there, but they had a different philosophy prior to Urban Meyer coming in. They were a ball, they threw the ball, more West Coast type offense, get the ball down the field. Obviously, because Spurrier was the coach there. He changed the whole dynamic of their program when he came in, Urban. And while it was successful because you had Tim Tebow there, now remove Urban, remove Tebow, and the program goes kaput. Yeah. And now it's the process of trying to get this thing back online. And I just don't like right now, they have no identity is the word I want to use. Other than like you said, they got an athletic defense, which is great, but offensively, there's just no rhythm and no identity there. And they don't have the guys in place that can really do something with that offense.
Oh, absolutely not, man. And Treon Harris, man, absolutely. I mean, oh man, it's kind of looks like Geno Smith in the NFL.
No. Geno looks better than him.
Brutal, man.
Because Geno wasn't that bad in college.
Yeah, no, Geno was dope in college.
He wasn't. I didn't like dope, but he wasn't that bad though. I won't go dope.
This kid, though, man, it's just like we talked about this matchup, Dream, 6 weeks ago.
Yes,
5 or 6 weeks ago. We talked about the Alabama front four. I mean, and Florida's offensive line is not that good, so. Treon Harris got a big problem this week, man. Big problem. So, moving on to the next one, man. Let's just talk about it. We've got the ACC Championship, which is the North Carolina Tar Heels at Clemson. Actually, it's a neutral field. Clemson -5. Over of 67, man. What's your thoughts on the North Carolina Tar Heels?
I think the under/over is a bit high from
67?
from a wagering perspective. 67 seems a bit high, especially. I think this is going to be a little tight game. I don't think that North Carolina is going to be as offensively fluid against Clemson as they were against other teams. And then Clemson doesn't offensively. I told you, Clemson scored a bunch of points against some bad teams that they blew out. I mean, if you go look at their little repertoire, they had 43 against Georgia Tech, 34 against BC. Yeah. 50 against Miami, you know what I'm saying? 56 against North Carolina State. So some of those scores in there are a bit skewed for their scoring process because I expect the score to be somewhere in the realm of like the Florida State game was. I would expect it to be somewhere in the realm of the 23-13 range. But that's a little bit of a testament to Florida State's defense, which I don't think North Carolina's defense is as good as Florida State's defense either. I think their defense is better than South Carolina's, though, that gave up only 37. It's going to be an interesting game. I think, though, let's see, 37-32, that's 69, and our number's 67.
Yep. I think it's right on the money.
Yeah, it is pretty on the money.
It is pretty right on the money. I mean, when you look at it, Clemson is number 14 offensively in all of college football, and North Carolina is number 16.
Yeah, it's pretty on the money.
And you know what? You look at North Carolina. I've been saying this for a few weeks now. Their pass defense does not get any recognition at all, man. And they're pretty damn good as far as the secondary is concerned, man. They are ranked number 19 in all of college football as far as pass defense. This is one game, Dream, that I think Clemson finds a way to win at the end. I think it's going to be a stomach ache from start to finish. Maybe even see North Carolina up, 10-3 or something like that. I just think Clemson wins. I think Clemson's the better team.
If North Carolina can get gameplay out of their linebackers and really plug up the run for Clemson,
yep,
North Carolina could win this game.
You're not a fan of Watson?
I am, but my thing is I just don't know that. I mean, I'm a fan of them.
Yep.
I just think that I think that Clemson relies on their run game to get their pass game going, like a lot of teams. I mean, that's not any like great statement to make. But I just think that they rely on their run game a little bit too much, and I think that Clemson is going to think that they can run the ball against North Carolina. And if North Carolina can keep Watson in 3rd and long situations,
sure,
okay, instead of like the 3rd and 3s, you know what I'm saying? It will force Clemson to punt the ball. North Carolina has a real good puncher's shot at winning this game. They really do.
I agree. I mean, I'm looking for their rush defense as far as the ranking is concerned. This is North Carolina.
That's the issue. North Carolina allows 208 rush yards.
Oh my God, that's a lot, man.
Yeah, that's what I know. That's why I'm saying I think that Clemson is going to think that they can run the ball against them. That's why you really need North Carolina's defense to show up. You need good play out of their linebackers to show up to bottle up the run. Also, safety help too. And you know what? I would cheat down if I were them because, I mean, Clemson. Clemson averages 288 passing yards.
Yep.
But do you have a stat on their longest? What's their long pass? Like, what's their longest pass?
Well, we saw a couple of long passes in the last game versus South Carolina.
Right.
We saw those. I don't have the exact statistics on that, but I'm looking at it, and you know what? I think if Clemson's going to be, like you said, if North Carolina has a shot, they're going to have to stop the run.
They got to stop the run. They have to stop the run.
They got to stop.
And that's what they should. That's what should be what the talk is right now today in the locker room. And I'm pretty sure that's what the talk is. They really need some big play out of their linebackers. Their linebackers really got to be up for this game. They got to be able to spot the run and spot the reads because. I don't know what Clemson's long with their average passing yards, length as far as per pass. I just don't, as I'm doing the eye test with Clemson and remembering some of their games, I don't remember a lot of long passes. So my thing is I would have the safeties cheat up a little bit.
Yep.
to plug up the run, as opposed to sitting back worrying about the deep ball.
Got it.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay. The other game that we're looking at is, and they made it pretty damn clear as far as the committee and the show and all that last night, is that the winner of Michigan State and Iowa, the Hawkeyes, who Iowa's 12-0 now, Michigan State is 11-1, should be 12-0 with the exception of a bad call in the Nebraska game. The winner of this game that wins the Big Ten championship will indeed make the playoffs.
I told you, son.
Oh, we knew that.
Yeah.
There's no surprise there.
No doubt.
Michigan State minus 3.5 with an under over 52.5, Dream.
You know I like Iowa.
You got enough testicular fortitude to money line them?
No. I do,
the 3.5's a good number.
I do, but I won't. But here's the deal, though. I sound like the doc. What I would do is I do have enough testicular fortitude to take half of the wager in money line and half of the wager and take a plus the 3.5.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I could do half and half.
All right. Sounds good, man. So you're looking at nasty Iowa to win the game outright versus the Michigan State Spartans.
Right. I like Iowa to win the game. And I know everybody's talking about Michigan State and, what they've done. But, Michigan State's another team that, you didn't like Michigan State at the beginning of the season.
I did not.
You didn't like them. You weren't impressed. And you actually hit me to a couple of things. I was really impressed with them, and I liked them at the beginning of the season. And then as I started watching some of their dynamic, I started being like, hey, why'd they struggle with Western Michigan? And then there was the Air Force little issue.
Yeah.
And then they really didn't do well against Purdue.
I know.
Who stinks.
I know. One thing I do got to mention, though, Dream, is that they did pound the hell out of Indiana. And Indiana gave a lot of teams fits this year. They pounded them, man. And they pounded Penn State, who was really good. They were 7-3 going into that game.
Yes, they did.
So maybe this team is getting hot. Maybe they want to shock the world, bro.
You know what? My problem with them bothered me is they defensively weren't as good as they were, as good as they were a year or two ago.
Yep.
And Iowa I don't think Iowa makes a lot of mistakes as far as them turning the ball over. Iowa doesn't play a lot of turnovers. They play kind of a disciplined, straight to the shirt offense. So I don't feel that Michigan State is going to Michigan State is going to have to rely on their defense, on their offense to move them up and down the field. They're not going to get turnovers from Iowa to put them in good spots. And they're not going to. Iowa will play the field position game with you all day. Where they'll punt. On third and fourth. They're not going to. Fourth and 2 if they're on the 45. They're not going to go for it and try to. They're going to punt the ball. They'll play. They'll play field position with you all day. So Michigan State is really going to have to rely on their offense, and I think that their offense is. It's been inconsistent and somewhat stagnant at different spots this season.
With the exception of the last game.
Yeah, but didn't they get they got the ball off of some turnovers, and they got the ball in good spots where they had short fields as well. Yeah. So and that's what I mean. They're not going to get that with this Iowa team. They're going to get, Iowa's going to punt, and Iowa should not turn the ball over a whole hell of a lot, and you won't see the defense, picking off the ball and having all the fun and getting 2 or 3 scores, or at least getting short fields out of here.
Gotcha. I think there's a reason why Michigan State is favored, bro.
Okay.
I you know what?
There is a reason why. Because
Iowa's been the Cinderella story this year. They've been really good. I got to give it to them. I only got involved with them a couple of times. But, they've been finding ways to win, and they have not lost a game. And I just think this game will be tight, but I think Michigan State emerges. I really do. I think Michigan State's the better team. So, anyway, that's pretty much where that goes, Dream. What do you want to talk about, man?
I know that Iowa beat Purdue 40-20, though.
Yes, definitely. Couple things on my brain real quick. Just want to talk about the playoff situations as far as the NFL are concerned, Dream.
Okay.
I think we got to do this. AFC, you got number 1, you got the New England Patriots. Number 2, the Cincinnati Bengals. If it stopped today, those are the 2 teams that would have the bye. Denver, number 3 at 9-2. And the way it works is a win. the Cincinnati Bengals win the tiebreak over Denver based on the best win percentage in conference games. So that's why Cincinnati is over Denver. But if New England loses another game, I'd like to see what all those three teams tied, who would emerge.
Okay.
Indianapolis Colts number 4. I think this is the team that's going to be a problem. I really do.
The Colts?
Colts, baby.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't, right?
No defense, dude. I mean, I know that they can throw the ball down the field, but okay, a problem to who though? Like, cause if they not to Denver.
Well, they were a problem to Denver a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying I don't see them being a problem. Dude, I noticed we've seen over the years teams that have lost during the regular season going to playoffs to the teams that have beat them and smoke show them in the playoffs.
Yep.
So I don't make a lot. I mean, I know you cling to that. Okay, they beat them in the regular season, so they should be it's a whole different level of playing the playoffs.
It starts off fresh, 0-0, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I take very lightly what a team does during the regular season. I mean, I get you take it, but I don't put a lot of stock into that and say, like, just because the Colts beat, Denver, 2 weeks ago, if they made them in the playoffs, it's probably a completely different team by then anyway. Because now you're talking about, in their case, maybe even another quarterback, but just the team evolves over the course of the season. So I just don't take a lot of stock in that.
Then you have 6-5 teams, 5 of them.
Yep.
And right now, the way it works is Kansas City and Houston would be in the playoffs if it ended today, Dream. With the New York Jets, the Pittsburgh Steelers, both looking on the outside, from the outside looking in.
And to me, Kansas City is more dangerous than the Colts to me.
Because of just the
way they play, their
game
defense,
management.
their game planning, the way they play football is more. It's to me, it's more adaptable for the playoffs than the Colt system is.
You like their game management?
I do, because it's a pain in the neck, and they don't turn the ball over.
And they could hold the ball for very long drives
For a long time, and they could play defense. You know, and the Colts, dude, they can't play defense. You know that.
I think the Colts are going to shock the world, bro.
Oh.
I really do.
I'm going to shock you.
All right, NFC, man. You already know who's at the top. And that's going to probably continue to stay at the top for the rest of the season, including the playoffs. And that's the Carolina Panthers, 11-0. And you trying to tell me that they're the worst 11-0 team, period? According to that guy yesterday?
I did not say that.
I'm trying to find that dude. I'm trying to find that dude.
That was the words of the writer for ESPN.
He's trying to get himself some ratings. That's the problem.
And many professional analysts and past players, if you watch any of your shows, any of the powers that be in sports, will let you know that they're not that good.
All right, Arizona number 2. So if it ended today, Carolina and Arizona would have the bye as far as the first round of the playoffs. Arizona 9-2. A little bit banged up in the running back position. We talked about it yesterday.
Yes.
Hopefully they're on the phone with Ray Rice right now. Don't know.
Which they're not.
Which they're not. Number 3, believe it or not, the Minnesota Vikings, man, 8-3.
Yes, I do believe it. Minnesota came on at a good time. They've played very good, consistent football this year. I've been a proponent of theirs. Remember, I didn't like them in the beginning, and then I liked them. Then they got beat by the Niners, and I was like really ticked off about that. And then they turned it around, and I like the way they bounced back, and I like the way they do it. They're another team. They do it very similar to how Kansas City does it. Kind of. The only game that bothers me that the Minnesota Vikings lost was the Green Bay game.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they got pounded in that game.
Yeah, that's the only game that bothers me.
Definitely. I mean, Green Bay definitely showed them what time it was. And the last game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, is in the tundra for the Minnesota Vikings. That's probably going to decide the division in that particular matchup. Number 4, the Washington Redskins and Kirk kissing Cousins dream.
I know.
Division leader in the NFC East.
Horrible.
It's going to be Washington versus the Colts, baby. Super Bowl 50. Imagine that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can.
Number 5, Green Bay Packers. Number 6, Seattle Seahawks with the win, 6-5. And then you got the Atlanta Falcons sitting on the outside looking in at 6-5 at the number 7 spot. Number 8, Famous Jameis in Tampa Bay.
Right.
Think they can make a little noise or what?
No,
I don't think so either. New York Giants number 9 and the Chicago Bears are number 10 at 5-6.
The Giants should just remove themselves from the list. They should just ask that they not be put on this list. Just don't. And they shouldn't have them on the list. They should just take them off and just put them way at the bottom.
That's your team. You love them. You love them. I like.
Giant fans, and I know you guys. I know the Giant fan is sitting back there still thinking about the year that they did the same thing that year, that long time ago when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl that they cling to. That Giant fans will never stop talking about. It's like you winning that Final Four with UConn that year. Giant fans constantly talk about that Super Bowl that they won. Constantly. And by the way, I'm stuck with them because I live on the East Coast and there's a ton, like I told you, ton of Giant fans here because the Patriots used to stink. I know nobody remembers that, but there wasn't no Patriot fans on the East Coast. And the Giant fans will constantly tell you that, but I really can't stand the Giants.
Can't stand the Giants.
Stand that team.
All right, man. Sounds good. Well, that's pretty much it for the NFL playoff situations, man. And I think
I'm telling you that Seattle Seahawks team to me is a very, very scary team.
Very scary team, huh?
Yep. I just feel like, with their experience and their coaching, that they will end up they'll figure out how to get that defense back on track by the playoffs because they do need to get that defense back together. I don't know what happened to their defense, but their defense is not what it used to be. They need to figure out to get that back on track again. And I just, Russell Wilson, he finds a way. Even though they lost Jimmy Graham, think about it, they didn't have him last year and they went to the Super Bowl. And I know they don't have Marshawn Lynch, but Rouse has been, he's been a great substitute for them. So very scary team to me. I still am keeping my eye out on that Seattle Seahawks team.
They'll probably get beast mode back by the playoffs.
I'm thinking they would.
Okay. All right.
I'm thinking they would. But to be honest with you, dude, this season I've loved the way Rouse has looked in the offense.
Yeah, but once they start zeroing in on him, I think it's going to be an issue.
Oh, do you think they haven't been zeroing in on him?
No, not as of late, dude. I mean, it's only been 2 games. Look at Todd Gurley last week. Had like 20 yards.
But you zero in on Seattle. You always are thinking about Seattle's run game when you defensively to play Seattle.
With beast mode out, though, it changed the complexion of how the defenses were adjusting to that offense. You know what I mean?
You think you don't think they adjusted after Rouse rolled off his
definitely.
first 80 yards?
Dude, if you think about it, he had like 200 yards in the first game, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it cut in half this week?
Oh, no doubt, definitely. But I mean, a couple of big runs that were busted. I mean, look who we played.
Yeah, right. I got you. I got you. All right. So moving over to the college hoop, man. I want to talk about this a little bit, Dream, because you know what? I'm kind of feeling this Michigan State team.
Yeah, I talked about Sparty.
Sparty is number 3, and they are hosting number 24, Louisville. Louisville is 5-0. Sparty is 7-0, 3-0 at home. And Michigan State is minus 5.5 with an under-over of 136.5, Dream.
All right, so now before we get into that, real quickly, we did talk about yesterday we did have the conversation, and we talked about North Carolina beating Maryland.
Yes, we did.
Which went down.
Yes, and I did watch a lot of that game, Dream, and you were absolutely 100% right with their size.
Told you.
Maryland's more built around, outside shooting.
Yep.
North Carolina, for sure, their size definitely had an impact on that. I mean, just with the boards and the dunks and, the layups and stuff like that, a lot of easier layups, a lot of fouls.
But Maryland has that build for that to run through the tournament. You know what I mean? With the guard play. That's been the formula. I mean, that's how UConn, you know what I mean? Yeah, when you look at some of the teams of the past, unfortunately, for some reason, the height teams haven't done it. It's been kind of the small lineup that's really been successful in college football.
I know. Look at Kentucky last year.
I know.
Kentucky Kentucky could not get the job done. And that was one of the best college teams I've ever seen. So now you're looking at Tom Izzo's squad this year. They're ranked number 3 in all of college basketball. And I think they could win tonight too, bro.
Yeah, I think they could win tonight. I like where they're ranked. I saw them. They looked really tough. I talked about them a few weeks ago, and they look tough. And they're definitely, I said that he would work on them, and they would be a work in progress as the season went on, which is obviously going on. So, what's the spread out of Vegas?
5.5.
5.5, huh? Yeah, I kind of like that.
That's
I like
a great money line, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a fantastic money line because you're probably somewhere along the -200 to -250 range, something like that ballpark. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Definitely.
We talked about DeVille yesterday too, gang, and DeVille.
Talking about Villanova, who laid the smackdown, won by 14 points, and I think they were given, what, 11?
11. DeVille does what they
love to cover, man. 5-1 against
team,
the spread
I'm
now.
telling you, keep your eye on this team. I just hated how they collapsed last year at the end of the season, though. Because last year I thought they were going to go a lot farther than they went, and they still went pretty far in the tournament. But the game that they lost, I did not expect.
My boy Rainmaker just sent me the article about the Panthers are the worst team ever to start 11-0.
Yeah, I already told you about that.
I
told
know.
you about that yesterday.
No, I couldn't find it yesterday, though.
Oh,
Thank
you couldn't?
No. Thank you very much.
Because you wasn't looking for it. You was too busy looking at Killer Cam's photo shoot. Photo shoot is Superman underwear.
Shut up. Idiot.
Talk about this dude's dope.
I'm gonna get this dude on the show. I'm gonna have a verbal altercation with
verbal
this writer.
altercation. You sound like Fat Mike now.
Shut him
I
right
heard
up,
Fat
man.
Mike the other day talk about he wanted to get some attorney on, and he would beat the attorney in the conversation. I'm like, Mike, you really feeling yourself?
You know why? You know why? Because he just hangs up on him and then talks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Junk.
The talks afterwards when they can't say that, or cuts him off right in the middle because his volume switches higher than theirs. Fat Mike and his tricks.
Talking about Mike Francesa, guys. I love when cats call in and he just kind of blasts them. I think that makes the show, to be honest with you.
Say that again?
I think it makes the show, even though he's very arrogant. He thinks
It's
he knows
extremely
everything.
arrogant. But my thing with him, though, is that, it's almost to the point where it's rude, though, now.
Oh, it's very rude.
I like years ago, it worked for me because it wasn't as rude. But now I just feel like he's at the point where he's done it so long, and it's like when he talks to people who call in, it's like they're beneath the same people who got him to where he was, which he forgets about all the time.
Of course.
They're like beneath him now. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of irks me because, it's like, I don't know. I don't like the way he treats people.
I know. Like, you have somebody call in and be like, hey, happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Great to be on the show. Love your show, whatever. And then they'll say something about hockey.
And he'll smoke him.
And he'll smoke them. It's like, it's football season. We're not talking about hockey right now. Click. You know what I mean? Boom. Just like
and
that.
Sometimes he doesn't even – the guy – I've heard him go off on people who have agreed with something he said, but we're adding something else to it. And he didn't even bother, to really listen. Like, he just responded. And it was like to me, it's just rude. But I get a little bit of it, though. I mean, dealing with the people calling in from New York and, sometimes every now and then I get a DM from a guy – or two that has me a little bit off kilter. What are you talking about?
But you'll stop him respectfully, though.
But, yeah, I try to be respectful in my – yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So, all right, looking at a couple of other games here on the ticket here. Number 17, Cincinnati, undefeated, 7-0, Dream. Giving 6 points to his
I've been
Butler
taking
team.
a small look at them out the corner of my eye, and I don't really know – I still don't know. I still haven't figured them out yet. But, yeah, there's somebody to take a look at.
Absolutely. Gary
You got your Yale team tonight, player.
Yale's playing, huh?
Yeah, they're playing Bryant.
Oh, man, I expect them to bounce back. They lost a couple games in a row now, Dream.
Yes, they did.
They got beat up by somebody that was not so good. So, something to take a look at as far as Yale is concerned tonight. I don't have a line on that game, though. Do you?
I don't.
I gotta pull it up and try to find it, man. Let's see what we got going on as far as the Yale Bulldogs. I know that they're playing home this weekend on Saturday, and unfortunately, I have a family party right smack in the middle of the ACC and Big Ten championship stream.
Dope. That's nice.
I'm like, what time is the party, honey? 6:30. Like,
and I know I always am on your case,
charts.
but your family party arrangement thing, they have no regards.
I'm going to get everybody on a big-ass email, and I'm going to tell them these are the dates that your boy is unavailable.
They have no regards for
none, absolutely none. And then on top of it, it's Thanksgiving, right? Oh, you know what? Why are you watching football all day?
I know.
I don't know. Why don't you go? Why don't you go take a snapshot of every home in America right now, and we can have that conversation afterwards. Oh man, unbelievable guys, what I got to deal with. But hey, it is what it is, man. I guess that's what I signed up for, right, Dream?
Yes, you did, brother.
When I took the knee, that's what I signed up for.
Well, you took the knee. The knee. That's why they get you on your knees, son.
That's why you get you on your.
That's why you get on your knees, because you're gonna be on your knees.
Oh my God, damn man, you went out clowning so much, man. We didn't even. We got NBA and NHL to talk about as well, Dream.
Put you to your knees. Listen, hold on a second. While you're into college basketball, we do need to talk about Duke, Indiana, maybe?
Duke, Indiana, yeah, not a bad little matchup there.
Not a bad little matchup there. You got Duke, Indiana tonight. Indiana coming into the Cameron Crazies. It should be a good game, and Duke should handle their business with Indiana. I would watch the 10 points, though, but I like Duke to win this game. 10 is not bad. It's like right there. I think 8 is the number you really want, but, 10 is only 2 over. It's hopefully Duke gets on a run and blows the doors out, but I don't know. I think I would probably... I don't like teasers. We talked about teasers in basketball, so I don't. So I'd probably go to money line route. Maybe you want a money line parlay Duke and Michigan together.
Michigan State and maybe leave one spot open.
Michigan State and leave one spot open. Or
great idea.
I hate talking about this, but there is a very bad team in basketball, and that is the St. Johnnies.
Oh yeah,
the Johnnies are horrible, son.
Really?
But you can't. Yeah, but you can't. Don't take. Look, dude, they're getting 6 points from Fordham tonight. That's how bad they are.
I got one team that I got my eye on. That you're going to hate that I'm going to say this, but I think they're going to make some serious noise in the tournament. And they always bomb out.
Go.
Perry Ellis and Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Your boy.
Yeah, your boy. I love it's my boy.
Perry Ellis is your boy, man.
Yeah.
I think Kansas is a problem this year.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
We could have that conversation as well. Right now, I'm looking at Michigan State, North Carolina, and Kansas. I like them a lot so far.
Yeah, but Kansas will probably win tonight. I mean, but like I said,
no, they won last night. They won big last night.
Oh, they did?
They won big last night. Yeah, by 30 points.
You got UConn today too, but it's probably not even on the board. You're playing like Sacred Heart.
All right, yeah, I don't see that here, man. I don't see that here. All right, got any more college hoop before we move over?
That's it. That's it on the college hoop landscape. But there's a bunch. I mean, I know you guys been knee deep in this college hoop because there's like 50 games every night, I know you guys been all over it. Every day and every night, man.
Every day and every night. So, a couple of games on a ticket. I like this matchup, Dream.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Charlotte has what it takes, especially they just had a big injury too.
Yep.
Golden State Warriors are coming into the Charlotte Hornets. Your Hornets are 8-2 at home.
I know, but this is the spot you don't go nowhere near them.
Oh, you can't bet 19-0 Golden State.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, you either bet Golden State or you watch. That's just I don't care who, where, or when they're playing, and that includes right now Cleveland. And the Spurs and OKC. I'm not betting against Golden State. Because right now, I mean, they got some stack. Right now, Golden State, I heard, first of all, I heard that Golden State 3 percentage is like 2 points lower than the Knicks regular scoring just 2 points percentage.
Oh my God, really?
All right, yeah. The Golden State is at like 42%, and the Knicks are at like 43 or something like that percent. Something crazy like that. The other thing is the Golden State right now, the level that they're hitting 3-pointers on, like they're reinventing math. Supposedly, the other stat I heard yesterday, let me get this right. I don't want it to sound wrong, but you guys could go look this up if you want. Apparently, Golden State is hitting more threes, all right, than they're allowing their opponents to hit twos.
I don't know.
I heard this was on ESPN Radio yesterday. I'm serious. They did it. They did this crazy breakdown of their numbers. It's staggering. I mean,
wow.
They were saying like they're redoing math. While you're getting twos, they're getting threes.
Oh, I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like they're redoing the math. Dude, when I heard the numbers, I almost crashed the car yesterday because as I ride in the car, I'm listening to the other radio give out the stats. They have some astonishing stats as far as your 3 points are concerned. If you guys think I'm joking, just go in and look at it. It's all there to be found. I just didn't do the homework for you last night because I had to trim the tree. But I may get involved with some of that homework today so I can come on tomorrow with the exact stats and how they put it. But I do know this. Don't bet against Golden State.
Yeah, when you look at and Angelo Nunez, I'm not a big blonde guy, but she's one of my favorites.
Let me get in there and
she's absolutely outstanding. Al Jefferson has the calf injury. He will be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks for the Charlotte Hornets, and Jeremy Lin is questionable with a right ankle sprain. Definitely a tough spot for them, brother. Golden State probably goes 20-0 tonight, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's just see what else we got on the ticket as far as intriguing matchups.
It'll be a hard-fought game, though. It's going to be a really good game if there was ever a game to take a look at and watch. Take a look for sure, and it will be a hard-fought game.
All right, 2 more that I want to talk about. Dizzle was breaking my balls yesterday about betting that nasty game with the 76ers and Lake Show. He said we can never laugh at him again for a nasty game.
Well, but we had fun with that, though.
How about this? Let me ask you a question.
Dan, we didn't bet on it, though.
We bet each other.
We talked to each other a fun one. We didn't go have like a on the adjusted line.
76ers minus 10. How about that? All right, now here's another one. Now, here's a spot that I'd like to do some homework on, guys. And okay. We need to really figure this out. A team like the Philadelphia 76ers, I know they're not traveling far. They're basically going, the next state over from.
They're losing tonight to the Knicks.
They're coming into the Knicks.
Yeah.
Now, so what I'm looking at is that I'd like to know what a team that goes on like this massive losing streak, once they catch that win and get it out of their system, and
they get right back to losing.
Yeah, all the emotion is left on the court,
right?
As far as that's concerned, because it was for an 0-18 team. I gotta be honest with you, it was kind of electric out there. Once they won, everybody standing ovations, everybody's going nuts. It was just like this big party out there.
This Philly fans, son. What else is there to party about?
I know. You got the.
Oh my God, son.
Got Chip. Got Chip and the Philadelphia Eagles out there. You got
Flyers.
The Flyers. You got the Phillies. Oh,
Phillies. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was a standing ovation.
Standing ovation for getting their first win. Now, have they exhausted all of their celebrations and stuff like that last night?
I'm wondering who was in the crowd because they had to give the tickets out to unfortunately, as bad as this thing, wasn't it picking people off the street?
No, you know what? It was definitely a big crowd because of Kobe Cove coming in.
Oh, okay, yeah, Cove coming in.
You know what I mean?
They still gave a bunch of tickets away.
All right, yeah. Handing them
out. Listen, here's the deal, though. The problem with them is, right now, the Knicks aren't I could see them catching a win if they were to play a team let's say maybe Atlanta, okay, that had a winning record. Maybe you could sneak them a little bit. The problem is the Knicks are not that great either and on a little bit of a losing streak themselves. So the Knicks need this win themselves. Yeah. So they're not coming in to a Knicks team that'll be okay, and take them lightly. They're coming into a Knicks team that's going to try to really beat them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why they're back to losing.
I agree, and your boy Porzingis is probably going to go ham on them as well. Porzingis. And Rainmaker, I am aware of the kid Diallo for Kansas. He was really, really good yesterday in his debut. So, looking at this, so that's another game that's on my brain and on my radar dream. Right. The New York Knickerbockers, and one more game that I think is going to be a tough matchup for both teams. And this is the Indiana Pacers at the L.A. Clips in the Staples Center.
I don't want to talk nothing about the Clippers.
You can't stand the Clippers, huh?
Rivers is starting to work his way to the same page as the other Rivers.
They won 3-0. They won their last 3 games, though, player.
I don't care. Dude, I don't care. I'm a little bit irate with them right now about what they did to me in a couple seconds. They're gonna have to get on some serious winning streak. And I heard that Chris Paul is being seen about some injured ribs as well. So keep a lookout on the injury report with that particular matchup tonight.
My boy Fazlane is saying he's taking the 76ers to beat New York tonight.
Go get him.
Go get him,
man. Player.
Best of luck. I hope you put $5 on that.
Go get him. I say bet on the game. I just said I think the Knicks will beat them. I would not be taking the Knicks or the Sixers.
The Indiana Pacers have been a thorn in everybody's side, man, and they have won now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, Dream.
No doubt.
It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a tight game, guys.
It's going to be probably a tight game. Listen, I can't talk to you about the Clippers.
All right.
Just salty.
You are very salty about that.
Very.
You've been picking some teams that have been making you salty as of late, man.
Yeah, I have.
All right. Moving over to the ice. Do you have any other NBA before we move over to the
No,
ice?
I don't like anything on the NBA landscape tonight. I don't. I see a bunch of
You know, I gotta
nasty
ask you the question because I go to another sport and then you bring me back to the same sport. You love doing that.
I do that. Well, because I spot something and I didn't maybe see, and you moved on me. So that's all.
How about the battle of New York tonight, man? You got the Rangers at the Islanders.
I see that. I saw that yesterday. Going to be a good hockey game to watch.
Especially with the Islanders playing so hot.
Yeah. Good hockey game to watch. I wouldn't get involved in that at all, financially at all. And on the hockey landscape, I don't really like anything, to be honest with you.
There's no minus 300 money lines?
Well, Winnipeg is probably going to be, you know.
Let me take a look here and see what the landscape is of the Toronto came off the big win the other night, man. So they probably are exhausted from that. They are 6-16, man. Damn. And what I do, guys, I basically add the overtime losses to the losses when I read off the standings because obviously it is what it is, man. So looking at this here, you got Boston at Edmonton tonight and Tampa Bay at the Anaheim Ducks. Your Anaheim Ducks, man, 8-16 as well, winning 1/3 of their games. I don't know, man. Maybe this team is just not that good.
Got you. Yeah. I see you're adding on the overtime, but I've got. In both those games, your front number is wrong. I got the Ducks winning 9 games, I got Maple Leafs winning 8 games. Is that the overtime win you're not counting?
I don't know. I'm looking at it. It says win, loss, overtime, loss. That's what I'm looking at on my board. So, hey, whatever it is, what it is. It's still booty.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And the Ducks, they've been a pain in the neck. We can't figure them out. They were supposed to be good, but we don't know if they are, and they're not really playing right yet. So stay away from them. And I don't like any hockey tonight, so it's the night off for me.
All right, sounds good. Well, it sounds like that you're on the college hardwood tonight.
No, I'm not. I mean, a small lean, but not financially.
All right, sounds good. Well, I am.
Well,
I like Michigan State tonight.
Get down with it.
I like Michigan State, and I like the New York Knickerbockers to win their game. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything exciting.
You gotta. I would throw Duke.
The Dukies?
I would get involved with some Duke.
How about the Washington Wizards playing the Lake Show? No?
Maybe.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at the New York Knickerbockers and Michigan State only right now to win their games. And you got to leave a spot open there, guys, because obviously the payout is probably not all that.
Should be decent, dude.
I don't know, man. Michigan State, you're looking at -5.5, and you got the New York Knickerbockers -8.5. So it probably pays somewhere along the lines of 60%. So I'd like to get that up at least another 10%, add one more team.
Really? I think it's probably about
I don't
70,
know.
70%.
We could have the conversation.
Okay.
We could have the conversation. But that's pretty much going to do it for the show, man. We ran over today, Drew.
I know. We always run over a couple of minutes. It's not a big deal. Just we don't run as long as we don't run over too much.
Yes.
Which we haven't been lately, so that's a good thing.
Right.
Jeff Ryan going ham there with the nice picture. Thank you very much for that. Guys, anyway, let's get ready to get up out of here. I got to send some love and some shout outs to everybody who has been retweeting the show as soon as I pull it up.
Yes, go for it, man. And guys, thank you very much once again for supporting us each and every day. And we got some really big stuff coming up, man, on the horizon. And we got the new year coming up, Dream. We're already 29 days away from the new year.
No doubt. And we are trying to get, guys, if you've been looking at, we are working at the website. Should be up
man.
soon.
The website is on its way, man, and looking forward to seeing everybody on there and rocking and rolling. We're going to let everybody comment there. Freaky Friday is going to come to life.
Yeah, it's going to have a lot of cool
videos.
And we've been doing
Yeah.
We've been at it. We've been doing some work behind the scenes, and things haven't quite went on schedule as fast or as like we wanted to have it going. But we promise that when the product's done,
yes,
it will be well worth the wait.
Very much well worth the wait.
It's gonna be like Paul Masson.
Yes.
We will not start a website until it's time. So anyway, we got Terrence Mack out there, Razor Ramon, Nick Orestes, Philly Picks, what's up, player? Christos is out there, Vegas Girl 92661, Direct Sports Solution, Joseph Del Rosario, Ben Stacks, AB Lint, Sarat King J. We got Sir Mata in the house. What's happening, Playboy? Vegas Jack is out there, Benjamin Rowe, JC, my boy Irby Irv. What's up, Irvin? Nicholas J, what's going on, Nick? How you doing today? Systems Pick 63, C. Rodriguez Jr., LA WizKid, MC Money, Snoopy Bets, the ever-present OJFB in the house, my boy. SD Grind is out there, Peeper Press, Jeff Ryan. Long Woo's out there, Mind Funk, Angelo Nunez, the king of Freaky Friday himself.
Yes.
Angelo Nunez, Mario Martinez, JDH24, and so many more. We got the Average Joe Punter out there in Australia. They usually listen. We got Papa Smurf. He's usually on. My boy Terrence Mack usually is involved with us as well. Big shout out to the MOB as he puts it down a little bit with his soccer, JCast, AZ Wildcat 83, just to name a few. Guys, as always, I am the dream. Always remember who you're with and make the most of each and every day as you cannot get this time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, we had a ball today, man. Looking forward to a great weekend. We've got college football on the weekend. We got pro football. We got all kinds of sports, as you guys know, all you junkies out there. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy, especially tonight. Do your own homework. Get involved in all your own plays. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Peace.